Everyone was shocked that the mysterious man who saved Kevin's life was his mentor. When Kevin lost consciousness, the Night King threatened everyone. He then sealed Kevin's wounds before taking him away for further treatment. After declaring Kevin the competition's winner, Wayne defended his decision by blaming Renee's actions for drawing the Night King's wrath. When she denied it, Wayne banished the union from his school. Nadia then revealed the Herbalist Society's interest in Kevin and showed support for the Healing Arts School. None of the other leaders dared to go against them. At that point, none of the other leaders dared to argue with Wayne. Seeing that nobody else was going to side with her, Renee angrily called her fellow union members to leave. As they stormed off, she sneered, "You haven't seen the last of us. Remember this day." When they were gone, Nadia suddenly spoke. "Everyone, I have a few words as well that I wanted to share. While we still don't know much about his mysterious mentor, Kevin is someone that the Herbalist Society is very interested in." Before anyone could reply, Nadia continued. "Furthermore, the Herbalist Society and the Healing Arts School are partners, so from now on, the union will never get another herbal pill from us. I hope the rest of you won't cause any trouble so that we can all continue to coexist in peace. And if you ever decide to pull off something like what the union did, consider the consequences carefully." Wayne and the others looked at each other in mutual understanding. Even if the other leaders had their reservations about being associated with the Healing Arts School after today's events, they still provided competent graduates to work for each other, so they had no plans to risk cutting ties with them. Moreover, who would dare go against the Herbalist Society unless they didn't want to get another pill from them in the future? It was much better to have both organizations as allies than enemies. After the closing ceremony, each of the school leaders took their members and left, and the Healing Arts students followed their professors to their respective classrooms. But what about Kevin? When Lily returned home, she sat on the couch in a daze. Her eyes had already been red and swollen from crying so much, but she still couldn't help but shed more tears after recalling what had happened to Kevin. "My precious daughter, why are you crying? Shouldn't you be happy if that piece of Dorothy coldly remarked as she sat by Lily's side and drank an espresso. "Mom, how can you say that? Kevin is my husband." Lily sobbed even more as she replied. "Lily, are you kidding me? That good-for-nothing husband of yours only knows how to eat, sleep, and wait for his death. Once he's dead, you'll be free to marry someone new," Dorothy exclaimed. When Lily didn't reply, Dorothy continued. "A beautiful woman like you deserves someone who will finally treat you right. Don't worry, I'll definitely find you a rich and handsome husband in no time." After Lily had called her mother to tell her about what happened at the Healing Arts School, Dorothy was elated, especially when she heard that Kevin was on the verge of death. And as soon as the call ended, Dorothy couldn't help but jump for joy, as if she'd just won the lottery. Ever since Kevin came into their lives, Dorothy had always felt sorry for Lily, thinking that any man would be an immediate upgrade over her useless son-in-law. However, no matter how many times Dorothy tried to set Lily up with a better prospect, her daughter would always choose to stay with Kevin. Now that he was finally about to die, she could finally find another man that Lily wouldn't be able to refuse. With everything suddenly falling into place, how could she not be overjoyed? "Mom, you don't have to look for someone anymore. I don't want to marry another person. If Kevin dies, I'll live on as his widow." Lily's tone was very firm. "Nonsense! What are you talking about? Do you really love that so much?" Dorothy's expression suddenly changed. "Anyway, I don't care. As soon as he dies, I'll immediately find a new husband for you, and I won't take no for an answer." Lily simply rolled her eyes and sighed. Why was her mother so stubborn? "Besides, I'm getting old, and you still haven't given me a grandchild. With a new husband, you can finally get pregnant." The more Dorothy spoke, the more energized she became. And with this last thought, she suddenly felt the urge to go out and find a man for Lily right then and there. "Mom, it's getting late. You should go back to your room and rest." Lily didn't want to continue arguing with her mother. "Why don't you get some sleep too? Aren't you going to class tomorrow?" Dorothy was concerned for Lily's health. Lily opened her mouth to respond but decided not to say anything and simply nodded. She wanted to wait by the couch so that if Kevin came home, she would immediately know that he was alive and well. Despite knowing in her heart that she was just deceiving herself, she had to hold on to something in order to cope. Still, Lily remained hopeful that Kevin would survive. After all, he'd been rescued by his mentor. And although nobody seemed to know his identity, his convincing words and the way he sealed Kevin's wounds made her believe that his mentor could truly save him. "Lily, don't tell me you plan to wait for Kevin here. You have to go back to your room to get a good night's rest. If Kevin wants to, then let him die alone. I don't want your health to suffer because of him." Dorothy spoke very seriously. "Why are you always so mean to Kevin? Although he didn't have a steady job for years, he's always had great respect for you. And right now, he's actually doing pretty well and has started making more of an effort to take care of us both." Lily defended Kevin. "Didn't he embarrass me so many times in front of my friends and family? He's barely done anything right, and I'm being generous when I say that." Dorothy scoffed loudly. "Anyway, it's useless to keep talking about him. No matter what you say, I'll never let Kevin back in our family." After saying that, Dorothy turned around and went upstairs. In that instant, she had indeed thought about some of Kevin's benefits. But so what? In her eyes, Kevin was just a useless son-in-law who came to live in their house and had been freeloading for 3 years. To her, the best possible thing he could do was to die and be forgotten. Meanwhile, in the Anderson family's mansion, Phoebe had been staring at her coffee mug for some time. The mug was actually empty, so clearly her mind was elsewhere. Seeing her like this, Truman sighed as he sat next to his daughter without saying anything. What happened in the Healing Arts School today had caused a lot of buzz in all of the other herbalist schools and organizations throughout Chicago. No one had thought that the so-called useless son-in-law would end up defeating some of the top 10 organization's best students in a martial arts competition. Unfortunately, Kevin's life was now hanging by a thread after battling a member of the union. And if it wasn't for his mentor swooping in to save him at the last second, he probably would have died on the spot. Although Kevin's life or death didn't have as much impact on Truman compared to his daughter, he could only sigh at the potential loss of a genius in the world of antique appraisers, one who had helped his business many times. Meanwhile, Phoebe was thinking deeply about Kevin. When she returned home, she felt like she'd lost her soul after seeing him in such a bloody and weakened state. "Phoebe, don't be too sad. After all, Kevin might not be dead. Didn't you say that he was rescued by his mentor?" Truman frowned as he comforted her.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.